Tyson, your reaction?
Yes, Tyson.
It's heavyweight boxing, boys. It happens. It happens. You get knocked spark out. It could have been me. It could have been you. It could have been anybody. In the heavyweight division, it's what happens. One punch away from being smashed, knocked out.
What, Terence? Was it a shock? What you watched?
No, not at all. I always stated that the better man was going to win today, and Dubois was the better man.
Were you surprised it was such a firefight? Did you expect it to be like that?
For me, yeah. Yeah, I think it's a surprise.
What was your reaction?
Listen, after the first round, the first knockdown, when Daniel got up, I said to everybody around me, Daniel's going to win the fight. Everybody looked at me, I was crazy. But I saw something in Daniel's eyes.
Was it just the experience tonight, the fact that, you know, the boxing pedigree that got to the fight?
No, I just knew Daniel because after he got knocked down in the first round, the way I saw him get up and then not even looking at his corner and just concentrating on himself, and that was it.
Do you think that was the right time for the fight to be stopped, or do you think it should have been a couple of rounds?
Listen, the fight was supposed to stop in round 10 because his nose was bleeding so badly.
What's next for them? I'm hearing a rematch clause. If not, who do you want to see him fight?
Nobody wants to see the rematch.
Heavyweight boxing stars were left stunned after Daniel Dubois brutally stopped Fabio Wardley in an unforgettable heavyweight war. Dubois survived early knockdowns before storming back with relentless pressure and devastating power shots that completely changed the fight. Many fighters and analysts praised Wardley's toughness and refusal to quit. But the savage ending shocked the boxing world and proved how dangerous Dubois becomes once he gains momentum.
And then once Dubois' jab started landing, I told the guy sitting next to me, it's over.
I have to ask you, buddy, we saw moments where Don Charles seemed to be kind of slapping Daniel Dubois in the corner.
Right.
As a trainer yourself now, what do you make of that? Is that something?
Wake him up. You know, calm down and you got knocked down, so what? Wake him up. Once he started using the jab, it was over.
We know in the past Fabio's shown tremendous heart. He's done it again.
Well, listen, I love
tonight.
Fabio. He showed a lot of heart. Hell of a champion.
Oh, where did you get that?
I hijacked two guys coming in, man.
God bless you.
Fabio Wardley started the fight aggressively and dropped Dubois twice in the early rounds, including a huge knockdown in round 1 that immediately electrified the crowd. For a moment, it looked like Wardley was about to dominate the entire fight, but Dubois slowly recovered, regained control with heavy combinations, and began breaking Wardley down round after round. Wardley absorbed enormous punishment before the referee finally stepped in during round 11 to award Dubois a dramatic TKO victory.
Oh my goodness, what a heavyweight fight. Daniel Dubois stops Fabio Wardley late in this one. Down with the first punch of the fight, Wardley to Dubois. Down in the third round, Dubois. But then he got behind the jab and he found a measured attack. Fabio Wardley is made out of granite, his chin and his fist. Dubois, very measured, looked outstanding. He's a heavyweight champion yet again. An epic heavyweight fight that lived up to the hype. One of the best heavyweight fights you'll ever see because of the brutality. I thought they should have stopped it much earlier. Does this mean we're going to see Daniel Dubois versus Usyk for a third time? I really hope not. Wow, what a fight though. Just why we watch boxing. Epic brutalness, big meaty men throwing.
Heavyweight contender Adji Cabello watched the fight from ringside and described it as a battle between two real warriors. He admitted the action was so intense, dramatic, and entertaining that he would gladly watch a rematch after witnessing such an unforgettable heavyweight clash. Cabello praised both men for refusing to back down and delivering non-stop action from start to finish.
The fight was very hard for two guys, but I think for the crowd, but also a nice fight. Unbelievable. I like it.
Was you surprised about the heart that Daniel showed down?
Yes, 100% I was surprised. But, Daniel gave a good performance. He was the first and then the fourth round, I don't know. He was one down.
Second, sorry?
In the second round, he was down. In the first round, he was down. And
first round and second round, yeah.
Crazy. But he come back, I like it.
Yeah, brilliant. And what were you thinking as an interested party in a potential fight with Daniel?
Yeah, but I think all the fans won't see the rematch, baby? He had rematch contract. Yeah. But yeah, we will see. Why not? I said this Daniel before. Why not? Me and Daniel, I think for the German fans, it's a good big fight. But first of all, I think I'm the #1 contender for WBC. I wait for the situation.
Cabello continued praising both fighters after Daniel Dubois stopped Fabio Wardley in their brutal heavyweight showdown. He called the fight unbelievable and crazy, admitting that during the early rounds he genuinely thought Wardley was going to win after the knockdowns. However, once Dubois recovered and found his rhythm, the momentum shifted completely and the fight became one-sided late on.
What did you make of that fight, Daniel Dubois, Fabio Wardley?
It was an unbelievable fight, you know, it was a very crazy, very hard fight. Yeah, I like it.
How did you see the fight progressing? When Fabio hurt Daniel in the first round, did you think he was going to go on to win?
Yeah, but you know, this is heavyweight boxing. You know, first of all, when I see the situation, I think crazy now. Fabio will stop the fight early, but you know, you see the result.
You see Fabio's face was bloody, it was a mess. How much heart and desire did they both show him there tonight?
It was very hard for him. You know, I think today...
Former boxing figure Buddy McGirt described the fight as brutal, dramatic, and impossible to predict. He said the first round knockdown was one of the most shocking moments of the entire contest. According to McGirt, Wardley showed incredible heart and determination, but Dubois' pressure eventually became too much to survive. He also suggested that after such a dramatic ending, a rematch may now be necessary.
And if you're off TV, John by Buddy McGirt, Buddy, what a main event that was. What did you make of it?
Hell of a fight. I think the worst thing that happened was that knockdown in the first round. After that, Wardley was just looking for that right hand. No jabs, no defense, no left hook. Sorry, meat and chicken. You know what I mean? But it was a hell of a fight. He showed the heart of a champion, and I think there should be a rematch.
Do you think that created that false sense of like the fight was kind of heading towards Fabio's favour, that first round knockdown then?
When the knockdown happened, I was like, oh, shit. But then in the third round, I was like, I don't...
British trainer Dominic Ingle admitted he was stunned after watching Dubois brutally stop Wardley in such a savage heavyweight battle. He praised both fighters for their heart, courage, and willingness to fight through exhaustion and punishment. However, he admitted Wardley's badly damaged face and the non-stop punishment being absorbed made the stoppage feel unavoidable in the later rounds.
Daniel Dubois, world champion once again, Don. You called this yesterday. I was surprised you called it because a lot of people pick Fabio, but I don't know you want ready to start. What a fight!
I'll tell you what, one of the best fights I've ever seen. One of the best fights. Fair play to Fabio Wardley. What a hard man he is. He didn't want to quit. His corner didn't pull him out. And Daniel Dubois kept his composure. He kept his composure, stuck to the plan. He started to get a bit tired himself. He realised that Wardley still got something in the tank. He kept pulling it out of the bag. He looked dead on his feet. But what a fight that was. And listen, fair play to Fabio Wardley.
Ingle also reacted strongly to the referee's decision and argued that the ringside doctor should have been brought in earlier to properly assess Wardley's condition. At the same time, he stated that if the doctor had cleared Wardley to continue fighting, then the bout should have been allowed to go on despite the heavy punishment being taken.
Comments online complaining about the referee, or maybe saying he should have been pulled out. What's your thoughts on that?
Listen, in a fight like that, because you've seen Fabio Wardley pull himself out from the brink of getting beat before, you can understand why Howard Foster didn't want to jump in the way. He gave him every chance he could, took him to the doctor twice, I think, and the doctor said, no, carry on. But Thursday, if it was me, I'd have pulled him out a round ago and saved him from that finish. He finished on his feet, but he took 4 too many shots.
Where does Daniel Dubois' heart? Everyone all this week's been bringing up him quitting and not getting back on, questioning his heart, and he showed a lot tonight.
Well, I think when, he went in against Joyce when he was young, people said he quit. He didn't quit, he had an eye damage. And since then, you've never seen him quit. And he's come back well. It's great to see him get the win after everything he's been through. But at any point, Fabio Wardley could have pulled that shot out of the bag. I mean, he had him down twice in the opening rounds. So, fair play to Dubois. Composed himself, believed in himself, and came through that fight and got the win in the end.
Chris Eubank Jr. described Wardley versus Dubois as the biggest fight in British boxing right now, and even labeled it Fight of the Year 2026 after the explosive heavyweight war. Devin Haney also reacted to the action and simply called it a crazy fight after witnessing the brutal exchanges. Dave Allen praised both fighters for their toughness, punching power, and willingness to trade shots without fear. He believed the matchup delivered everything fans expected and proved how evenly matched and dangerous both heavyweights truly are.
Trying British boxing at the minute, 2 knockout punches, it's an all British heavyweight title fight. Dubois is probably more proven, he's been heavyweight champion before. Wardley, he is now the champion. He got even the title after beating Parker. Now it's his chance to prove that he is, the guy. It's a real 50-50 as well.
Some boxing analysts argued that stoppage standards differ depending on the region. According to them, American referees often allow fighters more time to recover compared to some officials in the United Kingdom. They believe that if a similar situation had happened in the United States, the fight may have continued longer before the referee intervened.
Shout out to my little brother Dubois with the motherfucking win. Shout out to Dubois. But let me tell you something straight. You couldn't do that shit with me when I'm in shape. That's number one. And number two is, if Dubois or Wardley was American, they would have been stopped that fight. Let me tell you again. If Dubois or Wardley was an American fighter in the UK, as we've seen before, they would have been stopped that fight. That referee's known for stopping fights early. When Wardley fought Parker, Parker was nowhere as bloody and beaten up as badly as he was. And look how long it took the referee to stop that fight. This is the bias that happens in the UK. See for yourselves. But I tell you one thing, Dubois, I got mad love for you. Give me my rematch. I respect that.
However, many others believe the stoppage came at exactly the right moment. Curtis Woodhouse posted on X that Wardley was unbelievably tough, but sometimes fighters need to be protected from themselves. He congratulated Dubois on the victory and called the fight incredible from beginning to end. Boxer Ty Mitchell shared a far more controversial opinion after the fight. He argued that boxing should never rely too heavily on referees ending contests and claimed that once a fight begins, it should only end by knockout. Mitchell believes stoppages interrupt the true spirit of heavyweight boxing, where fighters are expected to battle through adversity until they either remain standing or collapse on the canvas. In his opinion, both Wardley and Dubois were tough enough to continue despite the brutal punishment and knockdowns.
Everyone's saying he was getting hit with big punches, he deserves to stop the fight. I hear it, yeah? But it's boxing, get to it. I don't think you should be able to stop a fight anyway. Someone has to get knocked out. Obviously, people can get hurt in the ring, I understand it, but that's boxing. Do you know what I mean? It can happen to anybody, but we know the risk when we get in there. Get fucking to it. And Fabio's mad dangerous when he's the most dangerous when he's hurt. And he's the champion. And he was like towards the end of the fight, there's only like a round and a half left. Get to it. I'll have to watch it back because some people are saying that they thought Daniel was ahead on points. From what I saw with the 2 knockdowns, he wasn't for me because Fabio had a few other rounds in the fight as well. But yeah, boxing, the rest is jumping.
Dubois trainer Don Charles strongly rejected any suggestion that Daniel showed signs of quitting during the fight. He explained that after the early knockdowns, he had to wake Dubois up mentally and refocus his aggression. Charles insisted Dubois never gave up and instead responded with discipline, composure, and heart under extreme pressure. He defended the referee's stoppage by arguing Wardley had absorbed sustained punishment and looked seriously hurt late in the fight. Charles also stated that boxing is not only about skill but survival, and once Dubois regained control, the momentum shift became dangerous. He praised both fighters for their bravery, but maintained that protecting a fighter is part of the corner's responsibility. In his eyes, Dubois delivered a career-defining performance filled with resilience and determination.
Just walk through the fight, that first round, that first 10 seconds, when you saw Daniel drop, what went through your mind? I spoke to Buddy McGirt after. Buddy said he probably helped Daniel because he helped wake him up.
Yeah, this is heavyweight boxing, that can happen. When you got 2 big punches like that, that can happen. And he got up from it. Second round he boxed good. Third round he went heavy again. That was definitely not the script. That's not how it's supposed to from our side. But you know what? Now I can say this, obviously, we stayed calm. Yeah? And then the way it's been written, remember this has all been written by the Most High. This has been written already, so we just have to wait for it, trusting God, and let it unfold as it's been written. And what you saw there is how it was written, not by me, that's how it's been written.
As the fight was progressing, you started to see Daniel take more control of the fight. Fabio looking battered and bruised towards the end, I'm sure you won't mind me saying that, but incredible heart on Fabio's behalf.
gladiators. There was no losers in there tonight. We came away as the winners, granted. There was no losers in there in my eyes.
Promoter Frank Warren praised Wardley versus Dubois as one of the greatest heavyweight wars he has ever promoted. He applauded Dubois for recovering from early adversity and praised Wardley's bravery despite absorbing huge punishment throughout the contest. Warren said the fight had everything fans wanted: knockdowns, momentum swings, non-stop exchanges, and constant drama from the opening seconds until the stoppage. He also highlighted Wardley's refusal to quit even while badly hurt. Despite that toughness, Warren agreed the referee made the correct decision because Dubois had taken complete control in the later rounds. Importantly, Warren hinted that a rematch clause may exist, suggesting this rivalry could continue in the future. He described the event as a huge night for British boxing and proof that the heavyweight division remains full of excitement and elite-level drama.
A war, but were even you surprised at the level of fight we saw tonight?
I thought it was going to be a really exciting, I said it, don't blink, it's going to be the most amazing few rounds. It was much better than that. It was just a phenomenal fight, phenomenal to watch, to witness and see these two guys, what they did, bearing their soul and getting up, and Daniel getting up the floor and on the canvas and coming back how he did, and it swung both ways to fight, and it was just a privilege to watch.
When you make these great heavyweight fights, I know you always want them to deliver, but nights like this must remind you why you do it all, right, Frank?
This is the best. I think this is the best fight card I've done. That's how good it was.
If it was a dream fight for Daniel next, who would you like to see Daniel fight?
Well, there is a rematch clause, so we'll see what happens.
If they decide to pass it for now.
We'll see what pans out in the next few months with all these various heavyweight fights that are happening, and that'll determine what's going to happen.
Moses Town was WBO #1.
Correct.
Is that likely to be next?
It may well be, but there's lots of different fights and permutations. We're not going to definitely do it tonight, that's for sure. So let Daniel go away and enjoy himself. And as I said, there's a rematch clause in the contract.
Alexander Usyk has reportedly shown interest in facing the winner of the Dubois versus Wardley clash as he continues pursuing the biggest possible fights in the heavyweight division. Following Dubois' dramatic stoppage victory, reports suggested that Usyk's camp would welcome a future showdown if Dubois continues his championship run. Usyk's team has repeatedly made it clear that they want major unification fights, with both Dubois and Wardley viewed as serious names in the heavyweight scene.
Been fighting, the best of the best, for some years now. But this fight is more like a fun fight, as the people would say. How do you stay motivated, or how do you motivate yourself to going into this fight?
For me, it's a real fight. Yes, Rico not a good boxer, but it's okay, fun fight, no problem. But I want a next fight with who winner, Daniel Dubois and maybe Wardley.
Former boxer and analyst Dave Coldwell reacted immediately after the fight and described it as an unbelievable heavyweight war. He praised both fighters for their toughness, heart, and willingness to keep fighting through exhaustion and punishment. Coldwell was especially impressed by Wardley's durability, saying he absorbed huge shots while continuing to fight back aggressively. Before the fight, Coldwell admitted he slightly leaned toward Wardley because of his mental toughness and ability to break opponents psychologically. After seeing Dubois knocked down early, he genuinely believed Wardley might fully take over the fight. However, once Dubois recovered, he completely changed the momentum using a sharp jab, powerful right hand, and calm composure under pressure. Coldwell praised Dubois for surviving adversity and gradually breaking Wardley down in a performance filled with heart, discipline, and power. He finished by saying the fight was a privilege to watch because both men delivered an unforgettable heavyweight battle.
What a fight! And what a chin! I can't believe, after all the punishment is all, Wardley's still never been down. Incredible chin. The man built different. Unbelievable. And what performance on Dubois. Incredible.
I know the fight's done now, but what did you expect up and coming into it, and was you correct or not?
No, All right. I was sat on the fence. I'll be honest with you, I was sat on the fence, but I was leaning, because of his toughness, I was leaning towards Wardley. And I thought Wardley could take away Dubois' confidence. And I actually said I thought he'd take it away pretty early. And then when I saw him come out and he blasted him that first round, I thought, oh, here we go. But Dubois soaked it up, just kept going, dropped it in back. I think he took a knee. I mean, I was sat, I think he took a knee using his brain, letting his head clear. Smart man, then gets up, goes back to business, breaking up. The jab was fantastic for Dubois. I did say beforehand, I felt that was a real weapon for him. We talked about his right hand, but he's got a brilliant jab, and then the right hand can follow, and that's what was happening. But both of them were unbelievable, really were. It were a privilege to watch.
What did you think about the Dubois versus Wardley war? Was the stoppage the correct decision, or should the fight have continued longer?